Hello, people. It's your home girl, Victoria Dixon. They call me AKA Boss Lady. Welcome to your favorite show, Talk It Out with VK. All right, so today we are going to be talking about the role parents play in the life of their children. You know, as a parent, as a guardian, you have a lot of roles to play. So you're going to hear all the roles. Maybe if you don't know your role today, you're going to be a guardian. If you didn't know your role to play, you are going to hear it from my guests. Sit tight. All right, so guys, I have Barrister Prince Chikuo today on Sex with Me to talk about the role parents play in the lives of the children. Welcome. Good to have you, Barrister Prince. It's always a delight to have you in the show.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Welcome, sir. All right, so first of all, I want to know who is a parent, who is a guardian.
Welcome, my audience, and thank you, the coordinator. And it's always a delight to be in this show. Thank you. So, who is a parent? Today we are discussing the role parents play in the lives of their children, or guardians in the life of those who has been committed for their care. A parent is one, male or female, who has a child or who has a younger one, a child, male or female, given to him or her to take care of, or biologically giving birth to by that very person. That's a parent.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
Beautiful definition. All right. So, what are the specific roles that is expected of a parent or a guardian in the life of their children?
Obviously, to be a parent is an obligation, is a responsibility. And firstly, the Holy Book, the Bible, declared that that a child should be trained and raised in a way he should go, so that when that child grows up, he will not depart from it. So that puts a responsibility on the parents or the caregiver. That puts a serious responsibility, and one of it is training.
Okay.
And the second one is giving care. And thirdly, giving support,
Okay.
giving direction, instruction, and helping the child to navigate the life challenges, making decisions. In fact, with all this put together, it is not optional. It's mandatory for a parent to raise his or her child in a proper way. Otherwise, that sole person may not be properly called a parent.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So, do you think parents are doing enough these days? Do you think?
That's regrettably it's very poor. It's very sad and it's disheartening. In fact, the indices is very obvious. It's shown in our society that
The impacts. Okay.
family has fallen apart in this obligation. The father, the mother, even the elder ones who are all put together in raising each other. That obligation has been kept aside. It has been there are very few. The percentage of right parental training and upbringing is very, very poor. And then the influence, the impact it's showing in our society. The societal vices is on the rise. If in fact the family is the first point of call where you can say, oh, this person, when someone behaves rightly or wrongly in the society, they will say, who is the father or the mother? It's not the teacher, it's not the friends. These are external influences. So, but when someone has a right home training, upbringing, it will reflect in the choices the person make, in the places, in the attitude, the character, the behavior, and our society will be better for it.
Okay. When you talked about training, I want to know in what part of training are you talking about? Because these days we see that you don't longer flog children. You're not allowed to use the cane on the child. You know, people, even in schools, we see it. If you beat up a child, you can lose your job for that. So when you're talking about training, what kind of training are you talking about? Because those days, when I grew up, I remembered my grandpa would flog me with cane. My granddad would flog me. My other ones would beat me up with cane. But it's no longer acceptable this time. So please, can you buttress on that?
Yes, training. In fact, the least in the categories of training is using the kicking, the least of it. So training primarily comes by example.
Wow.
Showing the pattern of life, not just in words.
Okay.
Because they say action speaks louder than voice. So whatever a parent is saying or a caregiver is saying must be backed up fully with actions. You are showing that very child the example to follow, the way to behave, the way to act, whether it's courtesy, honesty, integrity, compassion, or even in business, general training and upbringing, it is by action.
Okay, so what they're trying to
That's
say,
words.
what they're trying to say is that when they see the parents do these things,
They
also
copy them.
They copy them. They replicate from their parents.
Exactly.
So a parent that's not doing any of this trusts the child to just.
It's a wayward parent producing wayward children, and that is absolute. That's true.
Really? What am I? Okay.
And you know, parents, a lot, because of the weight of ignorance in our society. So, a lot of people give birth or have children that are granted them to take care of
Okay.
without knowing the right or the left to teach to the child. They think all about raising a child is provide food, water, and shelter. No.
There's more to it.
No, because what makes life what it is of what substance have you raised that child to have?
Oh. Wow.
So that the child can go out and represent you and you be able to say, you know, people can easily identify a child by the home of the child, by the behavior
By the character.
they display.
Okay.
So that's true. And a lot of parents say, I'm busy, everyone running up and down.
Looking for money.
Business. In fact, I have an article where it is explained, the author explained detailedly that fathers, especially fathers, hardly have time for their children.
Yes, that brings me to what I want to ask you. Do you think that it is only the training of a child depends on the mom alone? Because we've seen it, they'll say, you are behaving like a mother. If the child is good, they say it's like the mom. If the child is bad, and if the child is good, rather, it's like the father. If the child is bad, it's the mom. You are behaving like your mom, so please.
No, far from it. That's even
Are you sure?
that's an outdated era.
Okay.
And so parental
It's supposed to be for the two parents.
yes, the father will be involved. In fact, do you know it has been confirmed documentary that for a lady to have and enjoy a very good home
Okay.
after marriage, that lady must have passed through the tutelage, the training and upbringing of the father, not just the mother. Because
That's what we read on paper. But that's what we see. It doesn't play out in the society. Because fathers are busy. They'll tell you that I provide the money. Why do you want me to be at home?
no,
Even that's even one of the reasons why some men will say the parents, the mother should not do anything. Just stay at home, take care of the children. When they come back from school, prepare food for them to eat. Don't do any business. Stay at home. Just look after them. So when the child turns out bad, they say it's the fault of the man.
but though that I think those who have that ideology or philosophy, they are wrong. They are wrong because through this fatherly care and training, that lady comes up growing, understanding who a man is. This is my own thinking. Because a woman, the mother may have one or two lapses, but with the time, irrespective of the business, the father or the pursuit of money, making time to raise your children, training them in words and action.
Don't make it a one-sided thing because you're talking about the female child right now. I'm talking about both female and male because we see a lot of criminal activities among our youths. We see a lot of vices, a lot of social vices, a lot of things that shouldn't be happening. You see a child, a boy of less than 19, 20, cruising in a very big car. The father does not have it. The mom does not have it. You know, a lot is happening. So I want you to talk about this.
No, on the vices in the society generally, it's the
Because they say charity begins at.
yes. I trace it to faults or lines within the family upbringing. It's not the father or the mother's ability. No, alone. It is the failure of training from the home. even in the city, you see children, like you say, teenagers, that all they know is the influence that has been built in them by the friends. No training.
No training, no respect.
So a lot of them, in fact, at the age of 12, 13, they are already just strolling on their own. Nothing like, how could you, like, I would like, and the complete lifestyle of that child is built from the societal knowledge, experience, social media, social circles. Nothing.
Sorry to even cut you. You see some parents even compare these children with other children. They say, look at your mate is there, bringing this to the house, providing a child of 17, 16. What is the role of a parent? A parent is supposed to provide. When a child start providing for his or herself, then I think the parent is a failure.
Exactly. But, good family upbringing, apart from the provision, the care, the training, where you can see a child that is well raised, irrespective of the economic status of that family, they will still live well, develop a bit right character. In fact, a part of the training should be how to be contented with what you have. Build them with the economic skills. Like, part of the home training should include, it's all part of it that the children will not be economic burden. As they are coming up, they are being raised. So they know they are not looking at anybody. They are being raised in self-confidence, knowing that whatever they do, that in fact, they are built for success. It's not like coming to the society and the society will give you a template, the picture, that's all you live about. No. Those parents, they should think again. And then the children, the people, those who are maybe one way or the other lacking in this training, our encouragement and my advice is that the best way to live is to find not just your parent, it may not be your direct parents, to get good training from caregivers, elders, very vital for good living.
Is there a particular age one should have, get this training? Because I've heard people say when you get to a certain age, you can't be trained anymore. Is it true?
No. I don't agree to that ideology.
Okay.
No. Training, even...
No, when I mean training, I don't mean in skills and like parental training. Some of these teenagers, we see them, some of these youths, once they get to 20, they start providing for themselves. They don't listen to anybody. You can't call them to order. They will tell you that my parents can't even talk to me, so who the hell are you to talk to me?
No. There is some reality and truth in such, because you can't train an elder to use left hand and the old age.
That was aspirable.
It's difficult and it's almost impossible. So, child training, that's why the Bible, the book of books already said it. A child requires training, and that training will carry that child through to adulthood. So in adulthood, for that someone who has already, who felt, all I needed to know, I've already, so who do I listen to? That's an error. And that's the way, that's why society is getting worse and coerced the way it is.
So back to the question I asked you before, not this era, the other era, people
before this age,
people would flunk their children. Do you think that that time we groomed better children? So this time, because there's a lot of communication right now.
Very well.
A child can walk to the dad. Hey, dad, I don't like the way you spoke to me. I don't like. You can't do that then. In fact, you're allowed to be so heavy to explain. So what do you have to say? Do you think some of these things maybe we'll just put all of these things and add all of them? It will be better. Because some people still tell you that I still prefer the ways they trained or the management.
In my opinion, I think time and ages. Time happens, and then challenges and evolve. Society evolve over time. So as at then, they have their own chunk of crimes. Irrespective of the trainings, people still get wayward. There are wicked people. That it's not like it's not novel to this age, but with technology and advancement, with the age we are, so the crime and societal vices are multiplying. Children are becoming exposed more than before. Like there was no
use
computer,
of
no
phones.
websites, no phone then. So, but at this age,
So you're saying that if they had all this opportunity, then it would have been worse.
Exactly. So the opportunities are different, the times are different, the challenges are different. So I can't compare this age to them. So they recorded their own success in training and the opposite as likewise this age.
Okay.
So maybe the age that will come after us.
Matter what?
We pray the earth will be safe. So that's my thought. That's my thought.
Okay, so what's your advice to parents out there that are listening? What do you think they should do, or what do you think they can do better? To raise beautiful children for us, to raise beautiful children that will better the society. When I'm talking about beautiful, I'm talking about in looks, in character, And don't also forget, because anytime I talk about topics like this, I'm not just talking about the female child alone. I believe that the male children should be groomed rightly.
Exactly.
I'm not talking about the female, because we always boil this thing down to the female. A female child should be trained very well, so when she gets married, she becomes a better person. That's what this, this whole discussion always. But I am talking about a proper train, both the male child, the female child, because parents just train only the female child. They don't train the male children. Why is it that way?
Now,
Then before you give your advice.
Firstly, if you weigh the crime rates among male and female in the society, because that's from there, you can now trace it like, what is the residual cause of this increase and multiplication of crimes? Okay. You will see just a minor percentage of them, the crime committers, as females. They are not females. Majority, like over 90, are males. So that means there is a greater responsibility to raise the male children them well.
Yes.
So that failure is there. So my advice is to parents is get knowledge, because you can't give out what you don't have. Get knowledge, good knowledge, right knowledge, read books, go for information, so that when both the upcoming parents and those who are parents presently, so that you can now raise your kids, your children in the right way. Because whatever you give out, that's what comes back. So there's no one who just give birth, not raising the children, and at the old age, you expect milk and honey. It doesn't happen that way. Our society will be better for it. The parents who are directly involved, they will be better for it. So that's my advice.
Yeah. Okay. Before we wrap it, you already said something. I think I heard that. Even if, because a lot of people, they grew up without the parents. So some people attribute it, say, and that's why you don't have a mom, you don't have a dad. Is it an excuse? You grew up without the parents or with guardian. You didn't fall from the sky. There must be somebody. You have a family member. So please, let me hear some more on that.
That is not
an excuse.
It's not a justification to be a wayward child and say, I didn't grow up, I was born at a very tender age, I left my parents. Of course,
because I see people give that as an excuse. They say, you don't know where I'm coming from, you don't know my story.
No, people can justify challenges as reason for crimes. That's an error.
That's an error. It's like something, not an error.
It should not be. Otherwise, someone can come out to the streets and kill another, and then say, because society has given me pepe, I have suffered so much, so that's why I'm violent, that's why I live the way. It's not an excuse. So the message that we have today is, everyone can be trained, everyone can be raised, everyone can be better, and all of us will build a better society.
Wow, thank you so much. Like I said, it's always a delight to have you here, because you're full of words. All right, guys, I hope you learned one or two. I hope you learned something. If your parents, if your guardian out there, just help. I know this. I know kids of these days, they already have what they know. You know, there's a saying that a child that wants to go bad will still go bad. But as a parent, you just try your best. Do your part and leave the rest. Okay? So this is what we call it a wrap on today's show, Talk It Out. And sure to subscribe and sure to like. Okay? See you next time on the next episode. I love you guys. Catch you.